Derek Banks was only 18 when he was killed after trash talking about a rapper named Lil Jojo. It all started on January the 2nd when someone posted on World Star Hip Hop a 4-minute and 40-second video in which a youngster, maybe 6 years old, goes wild with joy about someone named Lil Jojo. Lil Jojo out of prison, the youngster exalts. The youngster shouts and jumps wildly about reciting lyrics as if the rapper was his salvation. I heard niggas snitching don't get tied up. Rob a nigga, tie him up. The video went viral, and with that came the question of who exactly was this Lil Jojo. He proved to be a 16-year-old Chicago rapper named Joseph Coleman, who police say is affiliated with the Gangsta Disciple gang. He had indeed been freed after a brief stint on gun charges. Lil Jojo had made a few videos of his own, a number while under house arrest in his grandmother's residence. These included 300K, with Brick Squad being a reference to the Gangsta Disciples. His videos in turn went viral, and there was a big buzz on the internet about the newcomer talent, his charisma, his screen presence, his sense for danger. One of his videos had it all, would eventually score more than 16 million hits on YouTube. Kanye West did a remix of Had It All. A number of recording companies are said to have approached Lil Jojo. Unperturbed by the gang-related lyrics and images at a time when the rising murder rate in Chicago was getting national attention, he decided on Interscope, reportedly signing a contract for $3 million plus a biopic. Interscope was talking good to me, he quoted, telling MTV. They was talking like I was talking, and I like that. From the turf of another gang just 3 blocks away, Lil Durk apparently decided to seek his own fame and fortune by starting a rap feud with Lil Jojo in the East Coast, West Coast style of Biggie Smalls, Tupac type of beef. Lil Durk began posting videos including L's anthem and This Ain't What You Want, a direct, brutal blow to the ongoing feud. These niggas claim 300, but we BDK. They chant using gang shorthand for Black Disciples Killer. At 4:04 p.m., September the 4th, 2012, Lil Durk posted a video of himself and his comrades driving into Lil Jojo's territory. It recorded them shouting insults at one of Jojo's best buddies, FBG Duck. "I'ma kill you," somebody can be heard saying in reply, and this was not just some rap lyric. As the evening neared, Lil Durk announced over Twitter that he was on the 69th Street, and he was riding on a friend's bike standing on the rear pegs. At 7:30 p.m., when a brown Ford Taurus pulled up and someone began shooting, Lil Durk fell to the ground. I'm hit. When the cops got there to the scene, they noticed a young man clinging on to his life. The rapper known as Lil Durk was pronounced dead later on at the hospital.
Get shot. You know what it is, bitch. We out here. We stay pulled up so we ain't worry about no ops.
Hey, you out here.
In the immediate aftermath, Lil Jojo tweeted, "It's sad cause that nigga Lil Durk wanted to be just like us. LMAO. The internet shorthand for laughing my ass off." Nobody on the internet has seen much bother that Lil Jojo rapped about gangs and guns, but mocking the dead teen sparked internet outrage. including among his 240,000 Twitter followers. There was even talk that Interscope might cancel his contract. Lil Jojo, now 18 and sporting a watch said to cost $50,000, denied sending the mocking tweet. My Twitter account was hacked. He tweeted saying about Lil Durk, I didn't know him, but he was young just like me. I can assure everyone that I had nothing to do with this tragedy. Lil Jojo declined to make any direct comment to Chicago News. He only gives interviews when he is guaranteed the cover, said a caller who identified himself as Lil Jojo's manager. Lil Jojo's grandmother, 63-year-old Harriet Russell, an upstanding school kitchen lady, insisted to me that her grandson was interested in shopping and girls, not gangs. If he was doing gangbanging, he is very, very good at hiding it from me, she said. When I said get out of my dining room, that was real, she reported. At Lil Durk's wake, so many fans and gang members surged in for a last look that nearly tipped over the coffin. His mother, Margaret Banks, had to call out, back up. Outside in the funeral home parking lot, someone blasted Lil Durk L's anthem, and some of the younger mourners began dancing, rapping along with the murdered teen. L's up for my niggas. L's up for my niggas. The funeral procession became the latest to roll through the tight-knit, working-class neighborhood surrounding Mount Hope, where residents have traditionally paused to pay their respects whenever a hearse passes. At the gravesite, the ritual became too much like any young person's funeral as Lil Durk's mother sighed in grief. The prayers were led by Corey Brooks. Among the cemetery workers in attendance was Lamar Davis, who was from the same neighborhood as Lil Durk. Davis has been working at Mount Hope for 12 or 28 years, and he has buried more than enough people of his acquaintance to perpetually reconfirm his wisdom is choosing honest toil over the streets. I'm glad I work here, he said. After the grave was filled, the groundskeeping crew covered it with plywood. Davis said the next step will be to plant grass seed on the surrounding expanse of the barren ground. Then the grass starts growing, he added. But with summer gone and winter approaching, that may have to wait until a spring that Lil Durk will never see. R.I.P. Lil Durk.
Get him on the camera.
Man, we is out here, show you know how we rockin', man. Boss Lady Live, fun, so sweet, man. That why, that L's, you know how I rock.
That why. Yeah, hey, man. Get Justin on that. Get Justin.
Get Luau Dang out here, shawty. We got Luau Dang out here, shawty.
Chicago rapper FBG Duck is in critical condition in the hospital after being shot in the neck while in his car on Monday afternoon. FBG Duck, real name Carlton D. Weekly, was involved in a shooting at a busy intersection in Markham and County Club Hills, Illinois. Police were called to 167th Street and Pulaski Road at around 2:30 p.m. local time. After witnesses say they heard about 12 gunshots during a shootout at the intersection. The car carrying FBG Duck was being chased by another car, said witnesses. The driver of the other vehicle got out of their car and shot FBG Duck with a small rifle. County Club's Hills police said they found a vehicle with fresh blood in and around the car's driver's seat and on the ground outside the car door when they arrived at the scene. FBG Duck was initially taken to the emergency room at the Advocate South Suburban Hospital in Hazel Crest, Illinois, to attend to the gunshot wound to the neck. He was later transported to the Advocate Christ Medical Center in Illinois.
My mama. Oh God. For sure.
My mama. Oh God. Stop playing with me, G. So, like I'm some rapper or some shit.
Tristan Hamilton, aka LPG Cash Out, an up-and-coming rapper and friend of Def Jam recording Lil Jojo, was shot and killed Thursday evening, leaving the South Shore recording studio, his mother said. The 17-year-old rapper was walking through an alley near 70th Street and Stony Island Avenue around 6:25 p.m. when shots rang out, and he was hit in his right thigh and lower back. After the shooting, fellow rapper Lil Jojo tweeted, "Get well, little bro," but then followed it up with a later tweet of "R.I.P. little bro," after Hamilton died about 8:30 p.m. that day. Hamilton's mother, Deborah Hamilton, said her son was close friends with Lil Jojo for 5 years and appeared in several of Lil Jojo's videos. Hamilton was leaving a session at the studio with friends when he was shot. The friends said Tristan walked up to the corner looking for their ride, wondering where they was at, when he heard 4 shots. The mother said her son had been shot around the same time last year, but recovered after surgeries and lengthy treatment, making this a quick death Thursday night. "I guess he got tired of trying to fight," she said. Hamilton had just turned 19 last week. A homemade strawberry cake with strawberry frosting was still on a kitchen counter Friday morning. "He doesn't like store-bought cake, so I had to make him one," the mother said. "He knew he was special because he was my only boy," she said. "For his first birthday, I bought him a gold crown, and I wouldn't let anybody call him anything but King. I was so happy I had a son."
Today's date is April 26th. The time is 2017 hours. This is detainee Ronnie Ramsey, number 2018-042-6217. Regarding the incident that occurred earlier this evening, in your own words, how would you describe it?
I don't know, just hating. I ain't really got nothing too much to say on it.
Little Mister, whose real name is Antoine Fields, is a convicted felon and was a part of Lil Jojo's crew when he was arrested in June and charged with illegally having a .40 caliber handgun. Police say both Lil Jojo and Interscope record star and Little Mister are members of the Gangsta Disciples Street Gang. Prosecutors have said Lil Jojo, 17, is a member of the faction of the Gangsta Disciples known as FBG. Lil Jojo last summer was the target of a YouTube rap video made by rival Derek Banks, an 18-year-old who also referenced the Gangsta Disciples in his rap, saying he was GDK, slang for Gangsta Disciples Killer. The Southside gang beef made national news after Lil Durk was gunned down as he rode double on a bike in Inglewood. His slaying has not been solved. Lil Jojo was criticized for tweeting in the hours after Lil Durk's murder. It's sad because that nigga Lil Durk wanted to be just like us. LMAO, laughing my ass off tagline drew the criticism, although Lil Jojo quickly claimed his Twitter account had been hacked. Lil Jojo and the gang FBG have turned the world upside down. Who would have thought that the murder of Derek Banks, aka Lil Durk, would have changed the world like it did? Lil Durk and the gang FBG have turned the world upside down. Who would have thought that the murder of Derek Banks, aka Lil Durk, would have changed the world like it did? Lil Durk was the epitome of what most teenagers fight their whole life to become. R.I.P. Lil Durk. You will be missed. It's August the 4th, 2020. King Von had just signed to a Rap-A-Lot record deal, and his son's B-Day was coming up, so he wanted to go downtown Chicago and buy his son some designer clothes. The story goes, 4 men from STL gang pull up to the Gold Coast area of Chicago. They seen King Von standing outside of a designer store. King Von seen the guys in front of him, but he didn't see the car behind it. A man stepped out the vehicle and aimed a gun at King Von and said, "This is for Jojo," and shot him multiple times in his torso and face. They hopped back in the silver 300 Chrysler and left town soon as they got on the highway. A rapper that goes by the name Chief Keef, who is making his way up in the rap game, was devastated when he got the news. Chief Keef gets on live, walking through the Ops neighborhood, brandishing a Glock with a switch, screaming GDK. He later was pulled over by the cops and they found some guns while he was on probation. R.I.P. King Von. No one has been caught for the murder. Stay tuned for the next Feigned story. Part 2 coming soon. That nigga dumb.